Hi, I'm Krista Johnson. This is my pony Jack here. I want to talk a little bit about the common reason, or a common reason, why I see a lot of horses that buck and or rear. And the problem typically is, if it's not a pain associated issue, obviously you want to rule that out first, but they quite often can't find comfort going forward. Forward is the most underrated F word when it comes to your horse. They need to find comfort going forward, and they need to find comfort going forward off of a direct feel. Going forward is very different than running away. Running away has the escape mindset and emotional state with it. They're typically going to be high-headed, tight-backed, bracy, not thinking with you. They're just looking to get away and escape. Going forward, they're being thoughtful. They're driving their hindquarters underneath them. They're starting to relax or are relaxed, and they start to utilize their top line in a healthier way. I'm going to use Jack here just to demonstrate on different ways to ask him to go forward off of a direct feel and what that looks like. Going forward is also not sucking back. It's not putting pressure on the rope. It's not trying to escape. It's thoughtful. It's responsive. It's relaxed. Let's see if I can send him out here. Ask him to go forward. Just going to establish our circle here. So there, he's going forward. His walk's quite nice. He's driving with the hindquarters underneath him. He's got his head and neck kind of level. He's thinking about going forward. He's not looking to some kind of escape to the outside. He's shaped on the circle. You can ask him to trot off of a direct feel by pointing that snap out in front of his nose and asking for that trot. If he's not driving enough with the hindquarters, I can support more with my stick and ask him to drive the hock more forward, like so. And if you notice, he's driving the hindquarters underneath, he's stretching down, he's relaxing his top line. He's not tight-necked, he's not tight-backed. He's relaxed, he's got rhythm in his feet. So those are the things that we're looking for as far as going forward and just relaxing into it. I can ask him to lope. He's not particularly good at it, but we'll test it out here. I'm going to do that off of a direct feel as well. I'm putting a 3-beat rhythm in there. I'm going to give him a little bit more rope because he has a little more trouble. Even though he's not cantering nicely, he's not in a runaway mindset. There he's getting kind of tight in his trot. Let's see if I can get him to settle back into that nice relaxed trot like that, where he's stretching down, driving with his hindquarters, not putting his head in the air, getting tight backed. And of course you need to do everything going both directions. So I'll get him switched around the other way. Have him yield around on his forehand. Turn on his haunches, send him the other way. I'm going to ask him to walk first, but I am going to ask him to stay out of my circle here. He's got his circle out there. And how I'm asking him to walk is I'm just putting a little bit of feel on the rope to ask him to step the outside hind out and come back down to a walk. And the feel's just a little bit different than it would be if I was asking him to stop. So there, it's a nice forward walk. So see if I can get him to drive. There he goes. Drive the hind end a little more in the walk before I ask him to trot. He doesn't have to be over tracking, but he's usually pretty good about this, and it does really help him relax. He's typically a pretty tight, tense little guy. I can ask him to drive a little more, the hindquarters there. He doesn't have to have his nose in the dirt. Sometimes he'll do that. He'll stretch down and relax. I don't mind it, but he doesn't have to put his nose in the dirt. I just kind of like the eye to be either level with the withers, maybe slightly below for most horses. There he's blowing out. He's relaxing. He's going forward. Notice how he's not pulling on the rope. He's not pushing on me. If they start to run away, Typically their hind end's going to go towards the outside of the circle. They're going to start putting pressure on the rope. They're going to be typically high-headed. They're not going to be relaxed. But there's a good little example of what a nice forward walk and trot look like on the circle and what I'm looking for with finding comfort going forward. Thanks for joining us.